watching him walk people and hit people continuously, I think we all questioned, the organization and what it was that they really saw. And, not to take anything away from what he's done in these 2 months, but can he take what he has done in 2014 and carry it to 2015? And I think that is a huge storyline in my mind, and a huge one that will really determine maybe the quality of this team moving forward in next year. Because, at this point, I'm sure they're going to count on him to be one of those 5 starters in their opening day rotation come 2015. And I don't expect him to, have an ERA of 1.17 or whatever you just said for all of next season. But, the counter to that is, look at his, jokingly his older brother, Ubaldo Jimenez, who really struggled for most of his time with the Indians and found some magic potion in September and locked guys up and looked like this and has really regressed this year in Baltimore. If that happens to Carrasco, where will this team be? Probably not in a good place. Where will they be if he takes this into next year? To me, he becomes one of the huge X factors heading into next season.
That's the scary thing. Exactly what you just said. I think back to you and I all winter doing the talk about the Indians and going, because it's that same setup for the scenario almost to go.
Sure, it's the Danny Salazar scenario all over again.
And even for all of them. You know what I mean? For the whole rotation, you go, yeah, but look what Salazar did down the stretch. Look what Carrasco did in August and September. And all of a sudden, you talk yourself into going, man, we don't need to sign a pitcher. We don't need to do anything here. Look at this rotation we're going to have. But like you said, if Carlos Carrasco turns back into a pumpkin at midnight in next spring training, then all of a sudden, what happened to that whole plan? What happened if this guy doesn't show up, or that guy, or God forbid Corey Kluber doesn't show up? You know what I mean? So that's the scary part of talking yourself right back into that same off-season conversation that you were so worried about, and rightfully so, in last winter. That's something else that's out there to think about as well.
And I agree. I think they need to add a veteran of some kind to this rotation. And, I think it's got to be a guy, again, no disrespect to them, but, it's got to be somebody better than the Sean Markhams and the Scott Kazmirs coming off of a debilitating injury and see if they stick. I think they've got to find somebody that they have an idea that they can count on for all of those reasons. And, when those 4 guys are at their best, they're all really good. But I think, like you said, Carlos Carrasco turning back into a pumpkin is the best way to describe it, because every time he takes the mound, that's what I wonder is tonight the night that, I guess in my mind, 2 months will not erase 3 years in my mind until I see it next year, until he carries it into 2015. And I think the same with Salazar and Bauer. When they're going well, they're really good. But I think it's safe to say, and I don't know that anybody would disagree, those guys both have top of the rotation stuff, but they're not finished products at this point. And there can be regression there, just like there was with Salazar this year. And if that happens, that's going to have a huge impact on this roster next year.
For sure, and I saw Paul Hoynes. He was talking about some of the bullpen, some of the things that Carrasco did and changed his routine, and it makes you wonder when you hear it. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but you wonder if all those years of that, he's got the talent, but is it going to translate? Blah blah blah. Like, was it something as simple as spending a few months just completely changing your day-to-day routine as far as how he would spend so much time in the bullpen before the games, just focused, and now he learned by being in the bullpen to just go out there and play catch before the games and loosen up a little bit and just get a different way of mentally preparing in the bullpen, that he gives the credit to that, to carrying over just the difference in how he started approaching his regular season starts here. How much of that do you think is legit? I mean, because that's amazing how, if that is as truly a big a part of that as they make it seem, because for so long it was, what do we got to do? And wouldn't it be funny if 2 years from now we're going, well, all we had to do was send him to the bullpen and tell him that he was on the end of the rope and he would turn himself around. We would have done that a lot sooner if we'd have known that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in it, Jerry, and I guess the best rationale or explanation I can give you is, probably from my day job of being a teacher, and it sounds simple, but it's not simple at all, because I work with teenagers and kids every day that, some of them struggle in school and struggle academically or whatever, whatever a person's weakness is. And that's basically the job of a teacher or a coach of any kind, whether it's baseball or school or anything in life, is to try and, help someone find a way to be successful. And it's not as easy as it seems or as it appears. And, I would say the other thing that I see, in Carrasco that maybe you can see in your own lives and from other people is, confidence is a thing that grows fast and can become contagious. And I think you see that with Carlos Carrasco. Even if for some way you could, to use your word, compartmentalize, if you could not watch what the baseball does when it comes out of his hand and what the result is, if you just watch Carlos Carrasco, the person on the pitcher's mound, that is a confident person. And the way he commands himself and the way he acts on the mound, and there's no doubt whatsoever, that he has confidence that he has not had in several years, if ever, when he's on the mound right now. And, there's a lot to be said for that, because when you're confident and you have that belief in yourself, that can take you a long ways. And there's I think a fine line in between having the tools to do it and and actually executing. But I think the gap between believing in yourself that you can do it, is rather wide until you actually, get it done. And Carrasco's getting it done. And I see that same thing in kids that, tell me all the time that they've never done well in school. And if you find that thing that makes them successful and their grades go up, suddenly it becomes contagious and they want to do well and they conduct themselves differently in the classroom. And, to me, I just feel like the pitcher's mound is Carlos Carrasco's classroom right now. And, he's going from getting D's and F's, and we're telling him he's off to summer school, and all of a sudden he is now our honor roll student.
We threatened him with not being able to play on the baseball team anymore, and he got himself together and said, wait a minute, Mom, I'm going to study a little bit harder, man. Don't kick me off the team just yet, man. I'll tell you, you're right, though. You can see the confidence, the body language, a completely different person. And, hey, man, we got to see more, not as much what he does the rest of this season, more looking to see what he does coming into next year. But that's way in the future, because they've still got 10 more games in a row to win here, and it continues tonight. Danny Salazar trying to wrap up this series here with the Astros and take 3 out of 4. It is very tough to win 4 games from any team on the road, and the Indians dropped that first one, but they can finish strong here and take this one. Danny Salazar out there for him against Scott Feldman, and then it's the Twins, and then it comes home for the final stretch of the season. So, I don't know, Mike, we'll see. Can they keep winning until you and I talk again? What do you think? Are we at least having this conversation one more time next week?
I believe that next week you'll be playing Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye as I come on the air. And you just can't find some song about the hole being too deep to dig out of, something like that, because that's what we'll be singing. But I hope we're talking about a 7-game win streak. Talking about a 7-game win streak is better than talking about all the changes that this roster needs. We've got, probably 4 months to do that. So hopefully
Absolutely.
One more week. Hopefully next week we're talking about a 7-game, well, I guess it'd be a 9-game win streak by then. So a 9-game win streak.
That's right, man. We'll see what happens, man. I'm enjoying it. You got to get what you can, run the string out here with this, and we'll see what the tribe can do. All they got to do is win them all and hope that some other people lose some and maybe more than some. And then, hey, man, nothing too difficult. So Indians, Astros, they wrap it up tonight with Salazar. Mike, you enjoy the rest of the weekend, the games that are left. And next week, we'll be talking about the 9-game winning streak.
There we go. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
We better be. All right, man. Have a good one. Mike Brandenburry, you guys can check Mike out, as always, and his crew at didthetribewinlasttnight.com. We're going to take a break. Me and my crew. Well, the crew don't run that deep, but I'm going to take a break, get you the commercial break here, come back and have some fantasy football for winners, which does not describe me. Does it describe you? Maybe it does. We'll talk to BJ Rudell joining us here next to tell you who you should sit and start, and if there's hope for a guy like me or a team like perhaps yours. We'll talk about that coming up next. Sleepers and sitters and starters. Fantasy football for winners with BJ Rudell coming up next here on the Sports Fix.
So catch Indian fever, be a believer with the Cleveland Indians. Indian fever, it starts from the very first inning. Indian fever.
A public service announcement from the Sports Fix. We here at the Sports Fix and our affiliates would like to apologize for any disturbing verbal actions, but remember, it's better having them trapped in a box than loose on the streets. Public service announcement from the Sports Fix. The Sports Fix, the sports show that cares.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
You love Cleveland, and you already know how much we love Cleveland. You know who else loves Cleveland? GV Art and Design. Everyday fans, you and I wear our pride on our sleeves. Now, you can wear your pride on your chest. GV Art and Design has one of the hottest Cleveland sporting lines. Log on right now to gvartwork.com. Check out all of their fantastic designs.
And don't forget, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10, to save 10% on your total purchase.
Follow gvartwork.com on Facebook, and remember, GV Art and Design, it's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
Hey everybody, listen up.
Listen up, guys.
Hey guys, listen up.
No one should ever hit a woman.
Not their wife, not their girlfriend, not their date. No woman should have to fear violence.
Especially not from someone they know and trust.
But that's the reality for too many women.
We have to change it.
It's up to each of us, because even one is too many.
Violence against women hurts all of us. Growing up, I was ashamed and afraid of my father when he abused my mom.
The worst abuse of power is when a man raises his hand to hurt a woman. We all have to take responsibility. So if you see someone threatening a woman, step up, speak out, and get help.
Dating violence hurts all of us. So step up and help end it. Because one is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
End the violence. Because it's wrong.
Because one is too many.
Hey, Cleveland, this is Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you're listening to Sports Fix.
Hold it now.